Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today, so we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. And in this episode of Coffee and Crypto Live, we're going to be talking about all of the different reasons why Bitcoin is likely to be going into a major setup, and it is in a major setup for a major rally that could take place over just the next couple of weeks. I am very excited to bring you today's episode because in today's episode, we're going to talk not only about Bitcoin, but also about Ethereum and Cardano. And the reason I'm so excited about all three of these projects is because they are three of the best projects that we saw come out of the last bull market. Of course, all of them existed before the last bull market, but all of them performed exceptionally well during the last bull market. They're very far retraced from all-time high, and I do think that they will recover those all-time highs. For Bitcoin, that would be a 300x. For Ethereum, that'd be a 3x. For Ethereum, that'd be a 3x. And for Cardano, that'd be like a 9x to recover its all-time highs. And I do believe that we're going to see something of that sort happening over the next year and a half to 2 years as a result of the global economy positioning itself in, oddly enough, a slightly more financially stable position for Bitcoin, mainly because a lot of the cleanup work from transitioning from the golden era of very cheap capital, massive labor pools, and big tech explosions and revolutions of technology in the 2010s is transitioning through the pandemic and Russian-Ukrainian era into the brave frontier of the 2020s that are no doubt to be quite tumultuous. But the world seems to be adjusting and setting up what is a new normal. Over the last 3 years, we've been in a transition, and in that new normal, I think that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano actually have a chance of thriving and doing very, very well, especially considering where we are in the halving cycle. As I said, very excited to bring today's show to you. Before we get started, let's go ahead and jump straight on into reading some green names. We have Wisely T, who is the first one in chat today, said, "Morning my," and then you said it was a typo. So, morning guys, I think is what you were trying to say. Daniel J in chat said, "Hi." Rocket Metal News in chat said, "Hi, Jebb." Oh my said, "Good morning. Hope everyone has had a good day." Hashtag FinSob. Dan Nolan said, "Right now, right now." Right now, I love that song. That's the theme song for this channel, has been for a long time. Fun fact, I actually found that song from none other than the king and queen of YouTube's wedding video like 4 years ago. If you don't know who I'm talking about Felix Kjellberg and Marcia, who got married in 2019, I think it is. And by the way, they're expecting now. So shout out to PewDiePie and his new family that he is growing. But that song was actually in their wedding video. So go and look up PewDiePie's wedding video. You'll see where I got the inspiration for that song. It's been the theme song for like 4 years now. Jeremy Shorter in chat said, "Good morning all." Hello. Grand Roofing Incorporated said, "Good morning, everybody. Almost missed the stream. Busy at work." Hello to you. Classic IT Guy is in chat, and so too is the Philosopher. Hello, everybody. We've got a lot of new names here in chat also. Not so much new, but names I want to shout out. I haven't shouted out before. Blast Fitness Training said, "Veracity Coin. Boom, millionaires." Not familiar with Veracity Coin. May have just given some clout to a shield coin. I don't really know. I'm not too familiar with it, but there you go. Shout out to you. Benny Barry in chat. Supreme 100's in chat. Johnny Two Pockets. What's up, Two Pockets? In chat. So what's up, man? Give me this sauce. Yeah, we're going to talk about crypto today. Before we jump into it, though, I do want to let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by our very own Club DeFi. If you guys are not in Club DeFi, you are missing out. You need to go ahead and sign up with the link in the description box down below. Why? Because in Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis, we're going to teach you guys absolutely everything that you need to know about technical analysis so that you can get started trading and investing and analyzing these markets profitably. Guys, we've helped over 6,000 10,000 students now learn how to invest in the cryptocurrency markets, and you could be the next one who goes through all of our educational services and learns how to work in these markets and do the kind of technical analysis that we're going to do in today's stream. So if you haven't already signed up for Club DeFi's technical analysis, principles of technical analysis, then make sure to check out the link in the description box down below. It'll bring you to cryptojebb.com, and anywhere on here you can go ahead and jump on over to Club DeFi's principles of technical analysis, or just hit the enroll now button and it will take you right over here to this page, and you can scroll down and sign up for principles of technical analysis. Special shout out to anybody who is a CT2A alumni. You will get 25% off of Club DeFi's principles of technical analysis just by nature of you having taken CT2A. We want to say thank you to all of our alumni from CT2A. You still have access to CT2A. By the way, if you're having trouble logging into CT2A, check the link in the description box down below. It's the third of the 3 CT2A links. That should fix your problem. If not, shoot us an email. We'll help you get there. But if you're in CT2A and you are in CT2A, you get 25% off coupon code. Shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com, and we will help you with that. And also, if you are in the subscriptionary model for Club DeFi, go ahead and shoot us an email as well, because we're going to give you a discount equal to however much you paid into Club DeFi's subscriptionary service. So if you paid $150 into Club DeFi back when it was a subscription, we're going to give you $150 off of that permanent access to Club DeFi's principles of technical analysis for you, specifically as a thank you for your kind support of the club when it first launched in beta. But now it's here, and we're really excited to bring it to you. So make sure to shoot us an email if you want either one of those coupons, or just go ahead and check out Club DeFi. Use the link in the description box down below. Boom. Let's go ahead and jump on over to CoinMarketCap. As you can see right now, Bitcoin is trading at $24,000. It's down 0.25% over the last 1 hour, up kind of trading sideways over the last 24 hours. As soon as I was going to say it's up 0.11%, it actually dropped. So there you go, that fell. But Ethereum is up 2%. Both of them are down over the last 7 days, and that's not exactly what we like to see. We want to see Ethereum and Bitcoin rallying, but I'm going to show you here in a little while that that's actually not the end of the world. And by the way, just to kind of give you a little bit of a teaching moment here. CoinMarketCap for some reason reset on me. I think it's because we reset our internet yesterday and we switched over to a different ISP. That may have been what did it. I'm not sure why, but nevertheless, if CoinMarketCap ever resets the different categories that you want to have here, I'll go ahead and show you how to fix this, because it did it to me. I normally don't have 1 hour, but I do normally have 90-day and year-to-date there. So go to Customize, hit right here, remove the 1 hour if you don't want it, or keep it if you want it. Select 90-day and year-to-date, and then move them right up here so that they're in order, or else this is going to be very strange order. I'll just go ahead and leave you. I'll just go ahead and put this right here to kind of show you what I mean. It'd look a little bit strange if you had year-to-date all the way over on that side. You can't even see it. It fell off the end. But if we put year-to-date right here and hit Apply Changes, then boom. Okay. So as I said, over the last 24 hours, we have seen Bitcoin and Ethereum more or less trading sideways. Ethereum's actually been outpacing Bitcoin ever so slightly. I wouldn't chalk too much up to that right now. The fact of the matter is Bitcoin and Ethereum are in a lot of consolidation right now, and that's where I think the opportunity resides. As you can see, Bitcoin's still sitting at over $450 billion in market capitalization. Ethereum sitting over $200 billion in market capitalization. There's something really funny about Ethereum and some of the other protocol blockchains I want to share with you. We were actually at a doctor's appointment yesterday, and I was talking to the doctor. The doctor was telling me that, yeah, he tried to buy Ethereum like 10 years ago, and then it just didn't work. And I don't know if he actually meant 10 years ago, because I'm not even sure Ethereum existed 10 years ago. I think it's turning 10 this year. But he's like, yeah, I could have bought it at $5, and I just didn't because I couldn't figure it out. The exchange was complicated. And I said, well, it's still a good investment. And he was thinking, well, yeah, but have you ever heard of Paul Krugman? Like, he thinks it's nonsense. I'm like, yeah, I've heard of Paul Krugman, but let me lay it out for you like this. And so this is what I told the doctor yesterday. I told him, look, there are a couple of major problems in our world. One of them is that people have no ability to store their wealth into the future without it being inflated away. If you live in Argentina, you're going through 100% inflation every single year. If you're living in the United States, you're going through at least 6% inflation a year if you believe the CPI, and it's probably going to be higher than that in the future. No matter where you live, you're losing value over time through the inflationary principles that our entire monetary system is built upon, and that's where Bitcoin slots in, because he made a good point. He didn't see people adopting it as currency anytime soon, and I'll actually give that to anybody who's a naysayer of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a currency, and it is used as a currency, but the main way that it's going to be adopted right now over the next 10 years is as an investment and a store of value into the future so that people are not having to go through this massive amount of inflation where they're losing 20 or 30% of their value just holding it in cash over a 10-year period. In Bitcoin, they're going to not have to go through that, and that's going to be the appeal. So Bitcoin's value proposition is a store of value. So he was very excited to hear that, thought he'd invest in Bitcoin, told him about the channel. Hello, doctor, I won't say your name, but if you're watching, shout out. I'm talking about our conversation yesterday. The other thing that I talked about was Ethereum, and I talked about Ethereum and some of the other blockchains in the cryptocurrency space. Blockchain has the ability to completely revolutionize the medical record system, and as soon as he heard that, he went, whoa, yeah, the electronic medical record system sucks. Like, yeah, I know, and blockchain has the ability to completely fix that entire system. You just need the right entrepreneur with the right capital and the right investment to be able to go in there and build that. And that's already being built in the cryptocurrency space. There's a revolution afoot on the electronic medical record system that is worth $1 trillion in its own right. And when he heard that, he's like, man, I'm going to really look into this. And I was pretty excited to hear it. So if you think that Bitcoin and Ethereum don't have any value, because you may have heard different people, and different people that I watch and different people that I follow hate on Bitcoin. They're like, it's useless. Bitcoin and crypto is not useless. It's some of the most powerful technology that we have seen in a very long time. And this decade, for a variety of reasons, including capital restrictions and including the labor force shrinking, including there not being as much credit in the system, is going to be harder for this industry to grow in the 2020s than in the 2010s, again, for a variety of reasons. But this is good technology, and entrepreneurs around the world will come together and use it to build new solutions to old problems, such as the electronic medical record system, such as people losing their money through inflation over time, such as government records being a complete joke and taking forever. A lot of that having to do with moving around pieces of paper rather than doing it on something like a blockchain. We can skip right over using the internet, because who uses the internet in the government, right? And then we can skip onto blockchain. Long story short, Bitcoin and crypto is here to stay. It's got a great value proposition, and that's why we talk about it every single day here on Coffee and Crypto Live. So if you are enjoying today's show, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump onto the chart, though, because I want to show you kind of the shorter term and the longer term perspective for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, as I just explained, have a very, very bullish future ahead of them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that every single cryptocurrency has a very bullish future, because many of these cryptocurrencies that you see in the top 50 are not going to be hyper successful 5 to 10 years from now. Not every cryptocurrency on this page right here is going to go through a 100x. If you want an example, let's just go ahead to this button right here. Go to cryptocurrencies, then scroll down to historical snapshots on CoinMarketCap, and then let's just go back and look at what the market looked like when I got into the cryptocurrency space. I got into the cryptocurrency space 2017. It was July 31st. They do have a snapshot for July 30th because they take a snapshot every 7 days. So this is a day before I got into crypto. This is what the market looked like. ETH was trading at $197. Whew. We would love to have it back down there, wouldn't we? Bitcoin was trading at a tenth of what it's trading at right now. $45 billion market cap. $2,757. I got into crypto, it was trading at $2,800, $2,900. Look at the top 10. Litecoin's in the top 10. NEM is in the top 10. ETH Classic, Dash, IOTA, Monero, and Stratus. Of this top 10 list, only 2 of these are still in the top 10. Then you got EOS and BitConnect, the multi-$100 million Ponzi scheme that it was worth $400 million when I got into crypto. Neo, BitShares, Qtum, Zcash, Tether. There we go. We finally found another cryptocurrency that is still in the top 50 anymore, right? Pretty much all of these, not every one of them. I think EOS is still in the top 50, but pretty much every single one of these cryptos, other than Tether, maybe EOS, I think EOS is in the top 50. Bitcoin and ETH are out of the top 50. Lisk, who remembers Lisk, or Gnosis, or Siacoin, or Bytecoin, or Iconomy, or Waves? Waves tried to sponsor the channel a long time ago. We don't take coin sponsorships, so I didn't do that, but I did get an email from their team. Dogecoin is still in the top 10. Fair enough. There you go. When you're funny, that's worth something. Comedy is an important part of the human condition. Stellar Lumens, that one's still up there a little bit. But for the most part, Decred, Digibyte, Factom, Game Credits, I'm not commenting on whether or not these are good or bad coins. What I am commenting on is that nobody's ever heard of them anymore if they've been in crypto for the last 2 years. because they're not there anymore. Look at the top 10 now. Binance, USD Coin, XRP. Okay, so XRP, there you go. That's one that's still in the top 10. Cardano wasn't there 5 years ago. I don't even think it existed back then. Or it was just in the foundational stages, actually. It did exist. The project did exist. The coin may not have been launched yet, though. Polygon, that wasn't there. Binance USD didn't exist. Dogecoin was at rank 20. Solana didn't exist. DOT didn't exist. Sheeb didn't exist. Litecoin, there you go. It was there. Tron was there a year later. I don't remember if it was there in mid-2017. Because I remember when Justin Sun launched this. Avalanche, Uniswap, DAI, Wrapped Bitcoin, Chainlink, Cosmos, Unised Leo, ETH Classic. There you go. That's one that's the same. You've got about 20% of the cryptocurrencies that were here 5 years ago still here today in the top 25. That's what's going to happen again. You think? Of course that's going to happen again. Maybe not quite that much churn. In marketing terms and in business, you call churn the amount of time, the amount of what you keep compared to what you had in the first place. So there's going to be a lot of churn. We've seen like 80% churn in the top 25 in the last 5 years. You might not see quite that much, but you're probably going to see 60 or 70% churn, where all of these different cryptocurrencies are going to get pushed out of the top 10, and there's going to be a few winners that we're going to pick. I've been betting on Bitcoin, ETH, and Cardano for the last 2 years now. I can't tell you what the other ones are going to be. I think Chainlink will be one of them. I think Polygon might be if it's able to overcome its difficulties with the Ethereum 2.0 launch, but it seems to be doing pretty well so far. Litecoin maybe just because it's so old, but I frankly don't see the point of Litecoin anymore because Bitcoin just does everything that Litecoin does. It kind of made Litecoin useless, to be totally honest with you. This market's going to change a lot. I just want you to know that going into our TA. All right, jumping into our technical analysis here. There is something I want you to know, and that is that Bitcoin broke bearish out of its ascending triangle pattern yesterday morning, just yesterday morning. We found out that Bitcoin was gone. It was gone down. Tell me what that was a reference to. If anybody gets that reference in chat, whew, I will give you a cookie if anybody knows what that reference was to. Bitcoin, we found out it was gone. It was gone to the downside. The bears were in charge, and we fell down here below our recent level of support right there. I told you guys yesterday there's a few different major things that can take place. Either one, Bitcoin can kind of bounce here off of the middle line of the EQ cloud. That's the most bullish of the scenarios. Number two, we could drop down here to the bottom of the EQ cloud or this level of support at 23.3. That's our next level of support. Or we could drop down to 22.808. Those are the three major levels that we're looking at right now. If you watched the stream yesterday, we talked about all of that. What we are seeing right now is that Bitcoin seems to be attempting to bounce off of this middle area here in the EQ cloud. Frankly, with how bearish we've been over just the last 6 to 7 hours, I would not be surprised if we drop down to 23.3, but at the same time, what we are doing right now is setting higher lows here on the chart, and we're also setting higher lows here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has, on the RSI bottomed out here on this last bottom on Wednesday, which was yesterday, at 26. It bottomed out here on Thursday, which is today, about 4 hours ago, at 34. So that's pretty encouraging that we're seeing higher lows coming into this market. What's not as encouraging is that ever since right around we started streaming yesterday, we've had a confirmed sell signal here on the hourly chart for Bitcoin. And that's likely what made Bitcoin have such a hard time with this bounce. We had a confirmed sell signal. We broke through the trend catcher. We only got halfway into the EQ cloud. We were so bearish, guys, that Bitcoin was not able to break far enough to the upside that it was able to recapture bullish momentum, and instead it started moving to the downside. We got through the bottom of the EQ cloud, but we couldn't get to the other side of it, so we started moving to the downside. That being said, since we held this equivalent low here at $23,600, that also means that we didn't fall back down into the reversal zone. A lot of times what you see happen, and this is coming straight from the founder of LuxAlgo himself, by the way. He's the one that gave me this tip. His name's Sean. You can find him over on the LuxAlgo YouTube channel. I convinced him to be a YouTuber, by the way. So if you're seeing Sean over on YouTube, I told him he ought to do that, and he's doing a great job. So go check out LuxAlgo's YouTube channel. They make some great content. But anyway, what Sean told me, is that one of the things that you'll see happen a lot of times with the reversal zones is that if you are in the reversal zone, and then right when you start to get out of the reversal zone, and then you have another correction and you don't fall into the reversal zone, here's a good example. Fell into the reversal zone, fell into the reversal zone, traded sideways. This time we didn't get into the reversal zone. A lot of times this little bottom right here is an indication the bottom's in and you're going to go through a rally. Well, it seems that may be what's occurring on Bitcoin right now as well, where essentially we had a couple of bottoms, they were in the reversal zone, but then we had another bottom and it didn't continue the downtrend for lower lows. Instead, we ended up setting a higher low. We didn't drop all the way down here to $23,000 to retest into the reversal zone. Now, I know it's a very bearish market right now, and we could have done that, and the reversal zone was very far away, but The fact that we didn't actually go all that way to the downside and fall right into the reversal zone indicates that this could be the beginning of a bottom. And it makes sense because if you just draw the bottoms here, it kind of looks like a rounding bottom. You may have learned about rounding bottoms and other kinds of bottoming formations here in the Principles of Technical Analysis. We talk about it all the time. Support and resistance tips and support and resistance zones. We talk about it right over here, so make sure to check that out. This rounding bottom formation is one that we're going to want to watch very closely, because if Bitcoin is able to bounce with some exuberance, which so far it has not, if it were able to break above 24.5, then that's where we would start to say, okay, it looks like Bitcoin's going into a reconfirmed uptrend, may start rallying up towards $25,000. The tricky thing is down here on the hourly chart, we have witnessed Bitcoin fall down to equivalent lows, but compare the rallies. We saw this rally move Bitcoin to the upside, $1,000 in the span of 10 hours. That was 1%. Excuse me, not 1%. That was $100 an hour. That was almost a 0.5% an hour. This rally, we did pretty well for the first 2 hours. We rallied $600 in 2 hours. That's $300 an hour. That was a great movement. That being said, it didn't keep it up. The last 2 hours, we've seen a little bit of a falling over on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does set equivalent lows, but it has this steep of a downtrend, as much as we'd like to say that that theory about falling into the reversal zone is going to hold, and then not being in the reversal zone means that we could be bottoming out, that's a bullish factor. If Bitcoin can't simply set higher highs, even if it's not as high as this high, but even if it's just like right here, if it can't get this high at least, it's going to have a very hard time breaking that resistance and moving to the upside and convincing the bulls on the short term that there is actually bullish exuberance here. So that's where it kind of looks like on the longer term time frames, we may be moving into more bearish territory. And it's not just what we're seeing on Lux Algo down on the hourly chart. Turning Lux Algo off for a second. And by the way, if you guys don't have Lux Algo, you really should get it. It is an incredible product. I love it. I use it every single day. Literally, guys, before Lux Algo, everybody thought the paid indicators were scams. Lux Algo completely changed the entire industry. Now they've got copycats, and people love paid indicators. Why? Because Lux Algo completely changed the entire... There was a stigma against paid indicators before Lux Algo came. Lux Algo changed all of that. It completely changed the entire industry for paid indicators, and Lux Algo did it because it's a great product. It's got a great brand. It's got a great thing that it's bringing to you, which is a technical indicator package, which gives you hundreds of technical indicators. It's going to really, dozens at least, maybe over 100 by now, of technical indicators that are going to help you to understand the market. So make sure to check it out. Use the coupon code Jebb, J-E-B-B, link in the description for 20% off at checkout. All right, moving right along here, though, the other thing I wanted to say, turning off Lux Algo, is that we have 3 red in a row. If you've ever heard RNR, red in R-I-A-R, Ryer, red in a row. That is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at 3 red in a row. That's one of the things we talk about in the market every once in a while. I normally only bring it up when we've seen at least 6 to 7 green or red in a row. Right now, we have seen 3 red in a row. Just an example of what I mean by green and red in a row. For example, right here we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green in a row. That oftentimes indicates that you are going to need a little bit of a correction, or on the flip side, it also indicates that you are extremely confident in that direction. The more candlesticks you stick in the same exact direction, the more you start to confirm that trend. So if we're red right now, that is helping to confirm a trend that we're moving to the downside. Now, one of the things I want to bring up here is that if we do have a little bit of bullish movement on the hourly chart, this is a little bit complicated, so track with me here. If we do have some bullish momentum on the hourly chart and we bottom out right here around $24,200 to $24,400, check out what's going to happen here to these red candlesticks. We saw a spinning top candlestick formation right here, indicating that we were bearish but not very confident about it. Then we saw a hammer formation right here. A hammer formation takes place whenever you see a candle body like this and then a long lower wick. On the flip side, when you see a candle body and then you see a long upper wick, looks like a sailboat with no sail, that is what we call a shooting star formation. I can give you an example. Let's look for an example. Let's find a shooting star. Here's a shooting star. This is not the perfect example of a shooting star because it has a lower wick, but this is a shooting star. You got your shooting star, and then you've got your inverse, which is the hammer. The candle color does not matter. Then, if we do rally up here to about $24,200, we would actually be setting into motion another spinning top formation. Newsflash, hammer formations are bullish reversal indicators. Why? Because the market's moving down, and then all of a sudden it loses all of its confidence that it's about to move down. But, well, that's obviously normally what happens when you are about to go through some kind of reversal. If you throw a ball up in the air, at some point it is hanging right there in midair and it's not moving. At some point, it's for a femtosecond, which is like a billionth of a second. But for some moment in time, infinitesimal as it may be, that ball is sitting there, it's not moving. Or if you take a racquetball and you throw it on the ground, at some infinitesimal moment, it is completely bottomed out. It's squeezed in on itself. It's caved in on itself just a little bit because it got the bounce in it, right? I'm talking about a very bouncy ball, like a racquetball. It's squeezed in on itself, and it's about to release all of that it's about to release all that potential energy in the form of kinetic energy and bounce. And at some infinitesimal moment, it's bottomed. At some very short moment in time, it is completely stopped moving to the downside, but it's not moving to the upside yet. It is completely bottom. Same thing if you throw a ball in the air and it comes down. Doesn't have to be bouncy for this case. Throw a ball in the air, it'll come down. At some moment in time, it's going to stop. Well, that's normally what you're seeing happen on the chart whenever you're moving to the upside or the downside. You are witnessing that take place with a candlestick like this, except with charts, it's not quite as simple because they don't follow the laws of physics. It'd be so much simpler if they did. But they don't follow the laws of physics. They follow the laws of sociology. And for anybody who's ever studied physics for one class and then next class they had sociology, you realize they're completely different fields of science. How can they even be in the same category of science? I have no idea. But one follows rules, others follows emotions and thought process, and it's just confusing. Crypto falls very much more into the realm of sociology than physics. So it's not as simple as X happens, then Y happens like it does in physics. I was going to go into astrophysics. You can tell which side of this I'm on. But I do find sociology pretty interesting. I also study geopolitics and macroeconomics, which is very firmly a sociological field. The point is, it's not as simple as just X happens, so Y happens. There are probabilities and percentages that take place because you have human souls involved. And what you're watching right now is that there could potentially be a spinning top indicating indecision, a hammer formation indicating an attempted bottom. Then if we do close up around $24,200, there would be a more indecision. None of the three of those are extremely bearish candles. All of them are at best neutral, if not, on the flip side, actually bullish, which that inverse hammer would be yesterday. And by the way, for any of you guys who want to learn more about this, we also talk about all of these candlestick formations over here in the principles of technical analysis. You can see right here, hammer and shooting star. We have a whole video on the hammer and the shooting star formation. We also have a whole video on psychology of candlesticks, white soldiers and black crows, because I didn't even mention without the wicks, this kind of looks like a 3 black crows pattern. And we also talk about spinning tops, hanging mans, engulfing candlesticks, and all of the other candlestick variations that you're going to need to get a great start in technical analysis. So make sure to check it out. Link in the description box down below. Again, if you're a CT2A alumni, you'll get 25% off. Shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com. And if you are a former member of Club DeFi, we will give you a discount equivalent to however much you spent on Club DeFi before for principles of technical analysis. Be that $80, $150, $200, whatever, however much you put into Club DeFi, we will give you a discount equivalent to that for principles of technical analysis. And by the way, I don't even know if I mentioned, Club DeFi's principles of technical analysis also brings with it the Discord server and office hours on Monday, where I answer all of your questions. I get to hang out with you guys at 8:30 p.m. Eastern every single Monday. We normally have quite a few people in there, and we have a great time. So if you want access to that, I thought about charging $50 a month for that, but we actually just decided to throw it in with anybody who buys a Club DeFi course. So make sure you sign up for Club DeFi because you will get access to office hours as well through the Discord server. All right, moving right along here. What am I talking about with this major setup? Because I wanted to bring you the daily technical analysis. It's important that you guys kind of know what's going on the daily, on a daily basis, but also what's going on here from this whole concept of, you know, us having a major setup and could a major Bitcoin rally be coming soon? I know you guys want to know what the title's about, of course. So I will explain very simply what I mean. Bitcoin at the very moment is in prime time territory on the longer term time frame. And by the longer term time frame, I'm talking about look at it on the 3 daily chart. And if you see it, that's what I mean. On the longer term time frame, Bitcoin is in a prime zone to be able to go through a massive rally. What I mean by that is this. Bitcoin is set up in a very bullish manner on the macroeconomic factor, on the macroeconomic side, maybe not a very bullish side, but it is a increasingly bullish foundation macroeconomically. Geopolitically, the geopolitical landscape is quite, how would you say, in catastrophic upheaval. But the United States, which is one of the largest investors in the cryptocurrency market and one of the largest places where technological development on crypto is taking place, it's actually doing pretty well economically. And so the United States is getting itself into a position where the average person, theoretically, could find the money, but also the reason to invest in Bitcoin if Bitcoin goes high enough. So right now, if Bitcoin does manage to start going into a rally, that's going to incentivize more people to buy it, which will cause Bitcoin to go into more of a rally. And you have this kind of domino reaction where you have the FOMO and you have all these people sitting on the sidelines, like the doctor that I spoke to yesterday that said, yeah, I heard about Bitcoin. I read about it in the New York Times like 10 years ago. I never thought about getting into that. But now look, it says $75,000. Wow, I'm missing out. And then they buy it. Or they have a me walk up and say, hey, just so you know that medical record system that you have to spend 4 hours fiddling with every single day and half of your hospital staff are mixed up with because they could be doing something better with their time, but instead they're having to deal with a horrible record-keeping system? Yeah, crypto can fix that too. And they're like, whoa, really? I want in on that. I want to make a bunch of money too. I want to retire. And so they do. But there needs to be something to talk about for the people that are outside of crypto right now that are thinking about it to get back into crypto. Nobody's hearing about it. Everybody's talking about Russia and Ukraine. That's one of the biggest impacts that Russia and Ukraine's war has had on Bitcoin, is that everybody's focused on the conflict rather than on crypto. Fair enough. It's the biggest war that we've seen on European soil in 75 years, and millions of people are suffering from it. I get it. It should be in the news big time. The news media should be covering that. But it does have the market impact that people are not paying attention to Bitcoin. So what do I mean? Bitcoin has to get the masses' attention. Attention, please. That's what Bitcoin needs to say. It says, I'm here, I'm back on the stage, and I'm ready to run. Bitcoin has to find it within itself to be able to go through a big rally and to get the attention of the CNNs of the world, of the New York Times of the world, of the Washington Post of the world, of the Fox News of the world, of the Yahoo Finances of the world, of the Wall Street Journals of the world, whatever. Whether it's good news or bad news, whether it's FUD or FOMO, don't matter. It needs to get the attention of the masses. Doing what I'm about to show you would do that. And it would do it for a very specific reason. Okay, so Bitcoin needs to get the attention. That's the problem that potentially the next 3 months could solve. Let's look at that. On the chart, Bitcoin's bear market has had 3 major tops. We can see them right here. We'll just label them 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Right now, Bitcoin is setting a 4th top. That is confirmed. This will be the 4th major top of the bear market, accumulation phase, whatever you want to call it. And they're all about equidistant. You can see this top happened about 140 days later. This top happened about 140 days later. And then this top is happening 192 days later, a little bit delayed. We would probably be this high a little bit sooner if not for the FTX collapse, because I think Bitcoin and crypto had it inside of itself to rally to 25K without the FTX collapse. That's a whole other factor that we'll talk about in a second. Point being, Bitcoin is setting the 4th major high. Now, they're lower highs, but is setting the 4th major high of the market cycle here ever since the all-time high. The question on the table right now is not whether or not this is going to be a lower high, because we've already set it as an equivalent high. Theoretically, technically, it's a higher high by like $5. Nobody's going to get that technical. Everybody currently is looking at this as an equivalent high. That's a pretty significant deal, because just the fact that Bitcoin's managed to rally to the same high as it did in August with, let's just run through some factors, with the effective federal funds rate being 3% higher than it was back then, with the Fed shrinking the balance sheet pretty aggressively, which is actually pretty bearish for crypto because it removes liquidity from the treasury market and from the mortgage-backed securities market, which is like the debt market is the backbone of the stock market. That makes things harder for the stock market. It also means that there's less capital flowing around the United States economy, which means that there's less capital on the sidelines for people to deploy into risky assets like crypto. That's another development that we've seen since August. The Federal Reserve balance sheet has not only shrunk, they have started to accelerate the shrinkage of the balance sheet to almost $95 billion a month, which is over $1 trillion a year. They want to completely shrink the balance sheet basically to zero, remove all of the impact of the quantitative easing and that inflation in the economy that QE caused over the last 15 years by 2026. It's only 3 years away. That is going to make things a lot harder for Bitcoin, because part of that $9 trillion that was in treasuries and mortgage-backed securities propping up that market would have been flown out of that market into crypto. So there's going to be less liquidity in the space. On top of that, August of last year, on average, the baby boomers had not retired. By now, on average, they have. On average, the baby boomers in the United States retired by the average, again, in Q4 of last year. That means that people that were making a ton of money because they're highly skilled, they've been in the workforce for over 30 years, they are senior executives in multiple different companies, they are programmers that have been programming for as long as you can program on an actual computer. Some of them have been programming so long they used to program with punch cards. I know people that used to program with punch cards. Those people are out of the workforce right now, meaning they're no longer producing, meaning they're no longer consuming as much, and they're certainly no longer investing. So you're seeing a shrinkage of the liquidity coming from the debt market being shrunk by the Federal Reserve rolling mortgage-backed securities and treasuries off of the balance sheet every single month. On top of that, you're seeing the retirees, the baby boomers, taking money out of the stock market to pay for what? Food, gas, a golf course, you know, a new golf cart, whatever it is that people buy in retirement. They're taking money out of the stock market, putting it right back into things that don't invest in crypto, such as like a BlackRock or somebody. All of that makes it a lot harder for Bitcoin than it was in August of last year. And by the way, that's all the stuff outside of crypto. Inside of crypto, during that time, we've seen a lot of things happen. We've seen Three Arrows Capital went down after that. Actually, no, 3AC went down after that. You saw FTX go down. You saw BlockFi go down. You saw Genesis go down, which brought down Gemini's Earn program. You've seen Kraken's staking program get dissolved. Now you're seeing the SEC is making even more attacks. Binance USD slowly evaporating, just disappearing. Crypto's in a much harder state right now than it was in August of last year, and yet it has managed to set an equivalent high. All things being equal, FTX having not collapsed, BlockFi having not collapsed, the baby boomers not moving into retirement, the Russian-Ukrainian war not escalating as far as it has. It's gotten really, really serious. It was serious from day one, but it's gotten really serious. It'll be 1 year tomorrow since Putin invaded Ukraine. All things being equal, disregard if FTX hadn't happened, BlockFi hadn't happened, SEC, you know, minded their own business and did their job and stopped FTX from going bankrupt. All of that being the same, Bitcoin with this much bullishness would probably be sitting at $30,000 right now. Just to be totally honest with you. And why do I say that? Well, it's very simple. If FTX had not collapsed, then this rally that took place would have probably happened 2 months earlier, and it would have started $4,000 higher. This rally that took place right here, just go ahead and extrapolate it right here with this little line, it wouldn't have started here and this low. It would have started here. We'd probably be at $32,000. Now, granted, it may have started a month later because some of this was taking place because of CPI data, but Bitcoin probably would have started this rally at $18,000, $19,000, $20,000, not at 16 and a half, almost at 17, 16 and a half. Instead, it probably would have started the rally somewhere in this range right here, but instead it started here. What do I mean? If FTX had not collapsed, Bitcoin would have started and had probably a very equivalent rally somewhere in this box. Somewhere here it would have started. And as you can see, if we had an equivalent size rally, even if we had half that size rally, we wouldn't have dropped this far, and we probably would have broken confidently above $25,000. The fact that Bitcoin is even at $25,000 after everything that happened in November and December of last year and January of this year is a remarkable movement, and it gives a lot of confidence to the people who know what they're doing, and that's who starts the bull market. The retail getting into the space is important. And the retail will get into the space. That doctor I spoke to yesterday, he'll end up getting into the space more than likely one day. The masses that left crypto or never got into crypto, but both of them want back into crypto, yes, them coming into the space is going to be important, but the masses don't start bull markets. The masses get in the second half of the bull market. At one point, I was part of the masses. I didn't get into crypto because I was an insider at a Wall Street trading firm. I got in as some random dork sitting in his bedroom in between 11th and 12th grade watching YouTube videos. I was 16. I got into crypto that way. I was part of the masses who had no idea. I didn't start the bull market. I got in halfway through. That was 6 years ago. Now I'm one of the quote-unquote insiders because I'm in crypto, so I'm here helping to start the bull market. But that's not how I got in. New people get into the space after the market's run and probably already passed all-time high, or at least gotten very close to it, so the media starts saying, whoa, Bitcoin's going on a massive run. Guess who starts rallies? Guess who starts bull markets? It's not the masses. It's you. It's you. Crypto needs you. And you guys are the ones that start bull markets. You guys and the institutions, all of which are smart enough and have the attention span long enough to wait through a bear market and have the understanding deep enough to know what I'm talking about, that buy now. It's you guys that buy right now. It's you guys that buy in the next 3 months. Bought 2 months ago on the dip. That buy 3 months from now when we're at $30,000 and catapult us up close to all-time high. Then the FOMO comes in. Then the retail comes in, and that's where you get your blow off top. Happened all at once during the last bull market because the institutions were getting in, and at the same time, everybody was getting stimulus checks every 45 days, so boom, Bitcoin rallied 600% in 140 days. It's probably not going to happen that way this year because we don't have, God only knows how many trillions of dollars worth of stimulus going out. But we are going to have a lot of interest in crypto because people saw what crypto did last time and they want a part of it because they missed out last time. All of us say, man, I could have done a little bit better last bull market. Or maybe you're saying I could have done a lot better last bull market. And so we want that second chance. And so that hype is what drives the market. So that's where technical analysis is very important. But the major setup I'm talking about here is actually more something that's happening psychologically. It's actually more something that's happening in the mind of not only current investors in crypto, but also prospective investors in crypto. Not only individual investors, but also corporate and institutional investors that are interested in getting into crypto. They're seeing that Bitcoin is starting to do something. It's starting to move. How did it get back to $25,000? I thought Bitcoin was going to die. Look at the chart. It was just going down and down and down and down. I thought Cardano was going to die. What's going on? Now it's rallying. What about ETH? I thought ETH was going to crash and burn and boom and bang. And where is it going now? It's double from its bottom. What's happening? People are starting to ask those questions. People are starting to have that disbelief. For any of you who have ever seen the Wall Street cheat sheet, you'll be familiar with the idea of the disbelief rally. Oh, this isn't a bull market. This is a sucker's rally. If you buy this, we're going to laugh at you. I wouldn't do that, but that's what people think. But then we just keep going. And so that's the question. Can we just keep going? Are we going to break through the local resistance at 25K? That's why $25,236 is a line in the sand that Bitcoin needs to break. And when it does, not if, I do believe it's a matter of when it does, whether it be today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, probably will be sooner than next year, you will end up seeing a lot of people start scratching their heads saying, you're telling me a $32 billion exchange collapse. You're telling me BlockFi went down. The SEC is going hard after Binance, the largest cryptocurrency exchange. They're going after Kraken, and yet Bitcoin set a higher high than it set right back over here when things weren't anywhere near as bad. Maybe I should take this seriously. And that's where people pull out their pocketbook and they put $100,000 into Bitcoin. When they start seeing it move up and they say, wait a minute, hang on. I know it's really low from all-time high, but you're saying it moved up 53% in 2 days. You're saying if I had bought 2 months ago, I could have increased my $100,000 to $150,000. Where's somebody, I need somebody to pull up in chat the shut up and take my money meme. That's what people do at the beginning of bull markets when they realize. And so that's where I think this is going. So again, as I said, we're talking about the major setup. I also want to talk about how Bitcoin, how Ethereum and Cardano play into this. Bitcoin is not the only thing that people are interested in. Obviously, people are interested in more than just Bitcoin. They are interested in Ethereum, which is a household name by now. Everybody's heard of Ethereum or Ether or Ethereum or, whatever it is that people call it. People almost never call it by the correct name, Ethereum. People almost always mispronounce it. I think the most common one is Ethereum. I think we hear a lot of that in the South. That's where Southern drawl comes in. You got some of that Ethereum that I can buy. And yeah, so people think, I could have bought it at $5. It's never going back there. But they say, yeah, it's a $1,600, I guess. But then somebody explains, wait a second, it was at $5,000 and it's going to $10,000. You did miss out on a big opportunity, but you're about to miss out on another one if you don't buy it. That's where people get in. So again, how does Ethereum play into this? Well, Ethereum is doing something very similar, except it's not in quite as bullish of a state as Bitcoin, but that makes sense. I'll explain why. Ethereum has 3 major local highs that have constituted this bear market, and in fact, they're almost in a straight line. It looks very similar to the S&P 500, by the way. You can just see the similarity there. It's striking with those 3 major highs, and then Ethereum had actually a 4th one, and then the stock market had a 4th major high. Just if you can't see it, boom, 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 4 major highs, broke the resistance level. Same thing's going on Ethereum right now. Boom, 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 broke the downtrend. Now we're moving to the upside. The tricky thing with Ethereum is that Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, is not knocking on 25K's door, which in this case, the equivalent for Ethereum would be 2038, which was the high that was set at the same time as the 25,236 high set on Bitcoin on August the 13th. Ethereum is not quite there yet, but that's actually a good thing, because what you're going to see happen is Bitcoin's likely going to break $25,000, start heading up to 28,545 in just the next several months. From there, people are going to say, oh, phooey. This isn't going to be everybody, but some people are going to say, Bitcoin's too expensive. I can't afford a whole Bitcoin. I don't have $28,000. And if they say that to you, just please say, look, Bitcoin is divisible into 1/100 millionth. So if you want, you can buy 1,000th of a penny of a Bitcoin. Okay? You don't have to worry about having to buy the whole thing. But nevertheless, people are going to say, oh, Bitcoin's too expensive. I want to be able to buy a whole coin. I want to be able to have a whole of the thing, right? Ethereum and Cardano being well behind Bitcoin is actually a little bit of an advantage when you're going out there and evangelizing crypto. Why? Because if somebody says that, you can say, well, hang on, look at the chart. Check this out. Check this out. Look, Bitcoin is, let's say, 10% above this high that was set in August. It's very, you can explain this to anybody that's never looked at markets. Just pull up TradingView, say, look, this is a chart. It shows where Bitcoin's been. Over here, I just pointed with my finger because I'm showing you what you would do this like in person. Here's the price. Here's the time. People can kind of wrap their heads around that. Bitcoin might be 13% higher than this local high over here in August of 2022, but look at Ethereum. It's still 5%, 10% below that local high because it's at $1,800. It's not at the equivalent of $2,500. Ethereum's a better buy right now than Bitcoin. And so then, not only can you convince the retail that's first getting into crypto, but you as retail getting into crypto also see that as an opportunity, and both of you go and buy Ethereum, maybe cashing out of some Bitcoin, but then guess what happens? You kick something that I talk about all the time into overdrive. That's called the altcoin engine. Boom, you get Bitcoin moving first. That is the, hey world, we're back. We're ready for a bull market. That's the, I'm drawing a line in the sand. We're not going lower. We're going into a bull market. Bitcoin, boom, kicks it off. Then the excitement comes in. I already missed out on most of the rally on Bitcoin. But look, Ethereum and Cardano are behind. XRP, whatever you want to invest in. Doesn't have to be Cardano or ETH. They're behind. Buy them. They're going to catch up. They've got bigger growth potential than Bitcoin because they fell more than Bitcoin. Then you look at ETH and you say, look, Bitcoin rallied from its local bottom to its local top 50%. That's pretty cool, but guess what? Ethereum has rallied 45%. It hasn't rallied quite as far. There's more opportunity there, so then people buy ETH. Then, and this is probably 6 months from now during the summer, you see an altcoin cycle. Over on CoinMarketCap, that's going to look like Bitcoin's dominance dropping probably below 40%. This is in the summer, and you can quote me on this. This will be a prediction of mine. And again, it might not come true, but based on my experience, I think it will. Sometime in the summer, you'll probably see Bitcoin doing quite well. Might be in the fall. This can take longer than we would like. Might even be in the winter of this year. But again, I think it'll be in summer or fall. You see Bitcoin rallies quite a bit over the next 3 to 4 months. Then it starts to fall. Why? Because people are investing in Ethereum. You think I'm crazy? Check this out. 2020 and 2021, moving into the pandemic years. When there was all that stimulus, what happened? Ethereum went from 7.84% market dominance to a local top here right around the time Bitcoin hit its first all-time high at 18. It doubled because of that altcoin cycle. And again, that took a year and a half. So I'm not trying to say that in 3 months this is going to take place. I'm talking about a trend over the next at least year to 2 years. You're going to see a flippening, not a true flippening where ETH is more valuable than Bitcoin, but you're going to see a trend where Bitcoin is, or at least the other cryptocurrencies are going to shed value into the higher cap altcoins as those retail and institutional investors say, we kind of missed the boat on Bitcoin, but Ethereum's 2 months behind it. Let's go ahead and buy it. The other thing you can show them if you're evangelizing crypto is you can say, hey, check this out. Back in 2018, Ethereum hit all-time high at $1,475 Saturday, January the 13th, but Bitcoin hit all-time high of almost a full month earlier, right here on Sunday, December the 17th. So Ethereum does the similar thing to what Bitcoin does. It just moves a little slower. It's just about a month behind. And then you say, look, Ethereum's going to catch up with Bitcoin. It just needs a little more time, which means that you're in at the ground floor and you can get an investment. You got to show it to people like that. Then you look at Cardano and you say, hey, wait a minute. You think Ethereum's great. Check out this. Cardano has better technology than Ethereum in a lot of ways. Not as well adopted. We're talking about, you know, the Apple of things. You might call Ethereum the Google, Cardano the Apple. Maybe Apple has better technology. Maybe it's got a cooler brand with a cooler community. I'm not saying that that's true, by the way, but a lot of people probably would say that. But you say, look, it's got a smaller market smaller market dominance, same way as Apple does. But it's gone down so much. It's down 92%, whereas Ethereum only went down, let's measure it, I think it's about 85%. Ethereum went down 81%. So Cardano went even further down, but it's great tech, and it probably will go through a massive rally. Just look at the last bull market. It rallied 4,000% in 2 years, in just a year, excuse me. It's probably going to go back to all-time high. What does that mean? It rallies 600%. You turn $100 into $600, and they say, huh? And then they buy Cardano. And then you've got them in the ground floor. As soon as you get somebody putting 10 bucks into crypto, you know what they're going to do? They're going to do the same thing that you did when you first got into crypto. They're going to check it every 5 minutes. I remember in 12th grade, dual enrolled at college, walking around, sitting here doing this in between my classes. And I shouldn't have been, but in my classes doing, I'm up 3 cents. You know, that's what you did. That's what I do. And that's what that person that you're going to convince to buy $10 worth of Cardano on Coinbase does, or whatever exchange. And then they're going to say, I made $2. I made $2. Man, if I had to put $1,000 in, I would have made $200. I'm going to put more money in. And then people get that FOMO. And because it's a bull market, they end up making money even if they don't know what they're doing. But then the most important thing happens. That's where you, as the sensei, as the master, with them as the Padawan learner, that's where you come in and you say, okay, you made a lot of money, but you didn't do that because of skill. You got lucky. You did that because you got in the market at the right time because I helped you find it. Now you need to invest in your education. And that's where watching YouTube videos comes in. That's where doing research comes in. That's where having conversations comes in. That's where ensuring that you understand not only how you made that money, but how to make money reliably again in the future comes from. And now you're teaching somebody to fish. You're not just giving them a fish. Getting them into crypto, that was you giving them a fish. Now you're going to help them learn how to fish. And if you didn't notice, what I just did is actually just kind of personified your journey of helping somebody come into crypto based on what my journey's been. My journey has been getting into crypto, having no clue what I'm doing, learning the hard way, going through a bull market or two bear markets as well, and saying, okay, I've figured it out. I was given the fish by another person on YouTube. Hey, check out crypto. I got into crypto. Whoa, I made 3 cents. Cool. And then I decided to make my career and build my life around this. Not my whole life, of course, but my professional life around cryptocurrency. And then I decided, you know what? Now that I've understood how to get the fish, I've understood how to fish, which is how to make money reliably in cryptocurrency. Now I'm going to teach others to fish. And that's where this channel comes in. And also, ultimately, that's where Club DeFi comes in. So if you guys have not gotten Club DeFi, the reason I made it, I kind of just outlined. That is my endeavor, and I'm sure you have your own endeavors, to help teach other people how to do the fishing of cryptocurrency. If you want to be successful in the cryptocurrency markets, what you got to do is make sure that you invest in your education, because if you don't invest in your education, maybe you got a fish. Maybe you caught a fish. Maybe you made $100,000 because you bought Dogecoin at the right time. I met a guy like 3 days before our wedding last year, and he walked up to me in Publix and he said, "Are you Crypto Jebb?" And I said, "Hi, how are you?" And so we had a conversation. I got a picture with him. And he said, "Man, I watched your show. I made $440,000 from this one investment." I was like, "Wow, what did you invest in? What coins?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I just put some money into this one coin and it just moonshot." I'm like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "Good for you, dude." And his story, I'm like, yeah, I really hope he invests in his education so he can know how to replicate that, because I'd love him to do that 100 times, you know? But it's been my passion to teach you guys not only how to get a fish, that guy got a fish, but I also want to teach you guys how to fish. And ultimately, one day, I'd like to teach you so well how to fish, you can go and teach other people how to fish. And that's what I'm doing, is I know how to fish, and I'm teaching you guys how to fish for gains in cryptocurrency. And that's what Club DeFi is all about. So if you guys have not gotten Club DeFi, you should use the link in the description box down below. You go to cryptojebb.com, hit any of the enroll now buttons. It'll take you over to the Club DeFi landing page. It'll look something like this. You will see our courses, which there are more coming soon. But for right now, Principles of Technical Analysis is what we have launched. You can see our 62 videos in here, and you can actually go in here, and it won't look just like this for you because I'm enrolled in it, of course. But you'll see 4 preview videos. These first 4 videos will be previews. You can watch them for free to get a feel for what Club DeFi is like, and I think you're going to love it. Guys, we've helped, as I told you, over 6,000 people learn how to invest and work in cryptocurrency markets. A lot of you guys took CT2A, and you are loving that. And by the way, for anybody who is trying to get into CT2A having trouble with that, I'm pretty sure we found a solution that should work for all of you guys. Might be wrong. It's worked for a lot of people so far. Use the link in the description box down below. There's 3. Use the bottom one. It'll take you to your courses page. It'll take you to the courses that you're enrolled in. But also, for any of you guys that were in CT2A, you've got a 25% discount waiting for you for Principles of Technical Analysis, which will give you $100 off of Principles of Technical Analysis so that you can get in and continue learning and continue stepping up your journey in technical analysis and taking the next step in your education in crypto so that you can be prepared for this coming bull market. Because if you don't invest in your education, you're going to miss out on a lot of gains. It's that simple. It really is. I want you guys to know what you're doing so that you can take advantage of this coming bull market, because it is coming. I think a year from now, we're going to see Bitcoin very, very high in price, but I want you guys to be ready for it. On top of that, if you were in Club DeFi while it was set up as a subscription model, which is quite a few of you guys, if you want to get into Principles of Technical Analysis, permanent access. As long as Club DeFi is around, you'll have access to principles of technical analysis. If you want to get into it and get access to the Discord server and get access to office hours, which happen 8:30 p.m. every single Monday, then go ahead and shoot us an email, support@cryptojebb.com. Let us know how much you had paid into Club DeFi. So there are a couple of people that have emailed us. Like one person said, hey, I paid $150 into Club DeFi. Boom, we made them a $150 coupon. Someone said, hey, we paid $60 into Club DeFi. Boom, we made them a $60 coupon. Somebody said, hey, we paid $90 into Club DeFi. Boom, we made them a $90 coupon. We're going to give you however much you paid into off as a coupon for principles of technical analysis. All you got to do is email us, support@cryptojebb.com, and you will get access to Club DeFi. Not only Club DeFi, but you'll also be getting access to the Discord server and to office hours. So make sure to shoot us an email, again, to support@cryptojebb.com, and we will make you a custom-made coupon code. All right. Well, it has been a lot of fun today on stream. Let's go ahead and read some chat. We had over 600 people watching today, guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Blockchain James said, Jebb's a pretty good guy. Thank you. I can imagine World War II poster of Jebb as Uncle Sam saying, we want you to get into crypto. We should totally make that. That would be cool. You know the poster I'm talking about, sweetheart? No, you don't? Okay, I'll have to show you after stream. I'm talking to my wife. She's sitting behind the camera. That would actually be pretty cool merch. Drop a 1 in chat if you want the Uncle Sam saying, I want you to get into crypto, but it's me. I'll show that. I want you for the United States military, for the United States Army. That's it. How about this? I think I could rock a red, white, and blue hat. Let me know if we should make I want you for cryptocurrency. Boom. It's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Haven't been able to catch you often, so forgive me if it's already been addressed. The original CT2A is still staying around too, correct? Yes. As was promised to the over 5,000 of you guys in CT2A, CT2A gave you lifetime access. You're going to have it for, unless something happens with Teachable, and if it does, we'll try. Anyway, you have it for life. You still have access to CT2A. You can sign up for, not sign up, you can sign in and go and access it. A couple people have been having trouble accessing CT2A. To those people, check the links in the description box down below. There's one down there that ends in /courses/enrolled. That should take you, if you're logged into your Bitcoin Academy, which is the actual name of the Teachable setup where everything is. If you're logged in your Bitcoin Academy account, then you will get access to that. All right. By the way, shout out to all the people that I did not get to shout out at the beginning. What's up, Win Peoples and Jojo and Silent and Crypto Mini Buy? Thank you guys to all of your incredible support over the years. Thank you so much. Good morning, Jebb. How's your wife and the precious cargo? She's been doing really well, but a lot of contractions. We actually thought that we thought we might have to go into labor and delivery this morning, but turns out everything's good. I'm just waiting here on stream for my wife to say, we need to go. And then I'm going to hit that button. No, I'm just kidding. We're not ready for that just yet, but I'll hit that button and then we'll be going. But so far I think she's doing pretty well. Someone said sponsored by myself, lol. Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's one of the reasons I created Club DeFi, is that I want to be able to have our own product, because don't get me wrong, we have some affiliates, and some affiliates we'll be probably working with in the future that I really love. Lux Algo is one of them. They make great products, but I also like having my own product that I myself am responsible for creating and building for you guys, because that's my contribution to the space. Crypto Big Brains in chat said, hey, Jebb, joining for the first time, winky face. Thank you so much for your view. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream, chat. If you got any questions, go ahead and drop them. MD said, been watching for a few months and really enjoy your content. A lot of detail covering the full spectrum. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, guys. I've got some really incredible updates that we have that are going to be coming pretty soon also. Hopefully going to be seeing them pretty soon. Need Jebb on Kermit the Head and on Kermit the Frog's body sipping coffee. I don't drink coffee anymore. I drink water. Is it just me, or does Jordan Peterson sound a little bit like Kermit the Frog? He's addressed that joke before. Hope Sarah, Malachi, and Baby are all doing well. When collab with Tom Crown? That's a good question. We were supposed to have a collaboration, and then something fell through. I think some kind of like crisis or something happened on one of our ends. I don't remember. It might have been on my end. But yeah, I'd like to have a collaboration with Tom Crown and make some good content. I want that on a coffee cup. A lot of people are saying that. And BitBoy is Rosie the Ripper. Oh, man. BTC equals generational wealth for you and your family. Which coin was it? I'm not sure which coin you mean. Oh, what coin did he... Oh, I don't remember what coin it was. I don't know if he told me. I have the picture, though, that I took with the guy. I posted on Twitter a while ago. It was like very early March. Might have been late February of last year. By the way, my wife and I are coming up on a 1-year anniversary, so really looking forward to that. That was best day of my life. All TA is the same as Bitcoin TA. Similar, but not exactly the same. Use the guys hear about this Ethereum. Pew pew poom. Pew pew poom too. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's a pretty good rum. There you go. Honestly, I've never heard Ethereum mispronounced in the space or not. And in Wires, mispronounce everything. North Michiganers? I don't know. I'm not sure. Guy you met said made 400K. Yeah, I'm not sure. Congrats. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. March 5th is our anniversary. It was a incredible day. We have some great pictures also of it. We had a photographer there and did some wonderful, wonderful wedding photography. Very, very, very thankful for that day. Beautiful, great day. All right. Love the fact that you love the Lord. Amen. In Wires. Oh, New Yorkers. Oh, gotcha. All right, well, guys, it is 11 a.m., so I'm going to go just about a minute or so more here because I really value your comments. I want to read them, but then we're going to wrap out here pretty soon because I actually have a project I want to work on today for you guys. But, yeah, I'm pretty excited about something I'm working on behind the scenes. Down 80%, which I wish I had found crypto education first. That's what I'm talking about, Josh Denham, is I want you guys to invest in your education. That's why I created Club DeFi, is because I want you guys to be able to invest in your education and be ready for the bull market. So again, sign up with the link in the description box down below. You will not be sorry you did. Guys, I don't mean to boast or pat myself on the back, but we did create CT2A, and we had over 5,000 people go through that course, and they loved every minute of it. We were getting glowing reviews left, right, and sideways. We were getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and people were just saying how much they love the course. Club DeFi is the next generation. It's even better. It's more. It's better at it. It's got more content. It's got everything that CT2A had and a lot more. I'm really excited for it. So, ask any of the people that were in CT2A, did you like... If you were in CT2A, here, I used to do this when I would talk about CT2A. If you were in CT2A, do you like it? Drop a 1 in chat. Boom, that's simple. If any of the CT2A alumni here in chat are here, let me know. And by the way, again, another update for all of my CT2A students. If you couldn't get into CT2A, we had a huge problem with a vendor, which will remain unnamed, but that vendor basically had us completely locked out of being able to access our customer service. We have now figured out kind of a patchwork solution to that so that we can respond to you. We're going to figure out a permanent solution to that within the next week or so, and then customer service is going to go right back to normal. All of you guys that can't get into CT2A, we're going to get that fixed. And I think we do have a fix, actually, so check the link in the description box down below. But really excited to see all of that. North Michigan is better, God's country. North Michigan, the Upper Peninsula, is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We brought some rocks home from Lake Superior and put them in our backyard. Anyway, we're going to have to go ahead and wrap out. But before I go, though, guys, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to Lux Algo, and sign up for Club DeFi with the link in the description box down below. Before I go, though, guys, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.